Hey everyone, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm trucking along here in this Kia K900, which sounds like a Soviet era ballistic submarine, but is actually their new high-end uber luxury sedan. And it's kind of interesting. It's somewhat in between, say, a Mercedes E and a Mercedes S. In terms of size and price, it's a bit bigger than an E, and it's about the same, well, about approximately in the same ballpark range as an E, but with the room of an S. Also, it comes standard with a V8, and interestingly, the E-Class, the normal E-Class, is no longer offered with a V8 at all. You can still get a V8 in the ultra expensive AMG version of the E, but regular versions of the E-Class now only come with either a diesel 4 or a gas 6 or a twin turbo gas 6. But anyway, I'll have a review of this car up on the site over the next day or two, depending on how things go. What I wanted to talk with you guys about today was inspired by watching some politician's commercial the other day on TV, in which the usual prattle about jobs and helping the middle class were the themes of the speech. And I've wondered for years when it became the job, or when it became the idea that people seem to accept, that a politician can conjure a job. A politician is just a tax-feeding bureaucrat who exists to take your money and then distribute it to other people. They can't create anything. What they can do is redistribute things. The old American understanding of the role of politicians, and they didn't even call them politicians back then, they were statesmen. That might have been a bit much, but nonetheless, the view of them was that their function was to protect people's rights, those rights having been enumerated in documents such as the Bill of Rights, and to make sure that the government did not transgress beyond the boundaries established by the Constitution. That was the proper function of statesmen, of people who were elected to be, in particular, presidents and so on. Presidents were supposed to be executors of the law. They were not supposed to be manufacturers of the law, Mussolini style, nor was it their job to create jobs, which is just a ludicrous and preposterous assertion for them to make. And yet people buy into it hook, line, and sinker. They expect, or they demand actually, that politicians conjure these things for them, whether it be a job or a 50-mile-per-gallon car. And the politicians, of course, cater to that, and then the people demand more and are bewildered when they don't get it. They expect these things to just simply rain down from the sky like manna, with the implication that the government and the politicians sort of possess all of these things in a big warehouse somewhere that they can dispense at their whim, at their pleasure, that they just exist. The fact is that only individuals engaged in productive effort actually create anything, and government is necessarily a negative. It's not a productive anything by definition, because it produces nothing. It simply takes things. And you know, you may be in favor of the government taking things and taking those things and giving those things to other people. I'll leave that for another day to argue on an ethical level, but the fact remains the government does not create anything. Government merely takes things. So it's extremely disingenuous, risible, criminal even for them to get up on stage and prattle about how they're going to create jobs and save the middle class. It's nonsense, and it takes a typical American brainwashed sheep to buy into that kind of thing. I don't mean to be abrasive and use such language, but it's just appalling to me that they can get away with it. The stupefaction of American society has reached a point that's literally hard to believe. You can get a handle on it, by the way, as I go on this rant, by going to YouTube if you want, where one of the nice things about our time, at least, is that you can easily avail yourself of, for example, a political speech from, say, the 1960s, and it was just on a more adult level. At least they didn't talk about creating jobs, saving the middle class, as they do today. It was on somewhat of a higher plane because the intellectual development of the average American was on a higher plane back then. At any rate, rant off. I'm going to hustle down the mountain here in this big old Kia boat, and we will catch up with you on the flip-flop. Please post your comments up at epautos.com. Also, we have clover stickers, anti-clover stickers in stock for those who'd like to have them. See the top right of the main page for that. And also, if you like the site, please either support our advertisers, Valentine One, there's my Valentine One, and also Amsoil. Amsoil Lubricants is an advertiser, or support the site directly via our donate button if you believe in what we're doing. So thanks again, and we will catch up with you soon.